Hello students, how are you? I hope you are safe at your home and you are utilizing these holidays. So today students, I am going to teach you one chapter of physics, that is your physical quantity and its measurement. So in this video students, I will teach you everything about physical quantities, how this physical quantity is related to our day-to-day life, and how can you measure these physical quantities. I hope you will go through this video and you will get benefit from this video. And if you will find any type of trouble or any type of doubt, then you can ask me on my number. You can call me, you can WhatsApp me personally on my number. So students, let's watch this video and get benefit from this video. Okay. So today students, we are going to start our first chapter, physical quantities and measurement. Okay, so this is our first chapter of physics. So today we are going to start this chapter, so physical quantity and measurement. So student, this is for class 7. So I'm requesting all the class 7 students, please go through this video and gain some knowledge, and whatever I am teaching, please you write down in your copy. So today's topic is students, physical quantities and measurement. Okay, so already you have learned about this physical quantity and measurement in class 6. Okay, some physical quantities and its unit already you have learned. Okay, so today again we are going to revise some things and we'll study some more things here. Okay, so students, physical quantity, first we are coming across physical quantities. Okay, if I'll ask you students, physical quantities, okay, what is physical quantity, what do you understand by the physical quantity? Okay, so if I write the definitions, physical quantity definition will be something like this. Anything which can be which can be measured. Measure is known as physical quantity. Okay, physical quantity, understood? Okay, anything which can be measured, that is known as your physical quantity. Suppose you are going to some market and you are asking 5 kg potatoes, 2 kg mango, like that. Okay, so what you are asking, you are asking about the physical quantity. Okay, because you know potatoes and mango that can be measured, that's why you are asking this much potato or this much mango you give. Okay, so this is your anything which can be measured is known as a physical quantity. So what are the physical quantities students? So first I'm writing here mass is a physical quantity, that one you can measure in which unit students? You can measure in kg. Okay, then second one I'm writing here length is also a physical quantity that can be measured in meter. Okay, you can measure in meter. Third I am writing here, you can measure temperature is also physical quantity, temperature that can be measured in your Kelvin. Kelvin, understood students? Then next you can measure heat also you can measure in joule. Okay, you can measure in joule. Then next I'm writing here time you can measure time in second. Okay, similarly students, some other thing also, temperature, current also, current that can be measured in ampere. Okay, like the some physical quantities, okay, which you can measure. So which you can measure, that is known as your physical quantity. So here which are physical quantities, I told you here only some example I told: mass, length, temperature, heat, time, okay, current. So these are your physical quantities. Okay, and what are these are your units. Okay, these are your units. Okay, units, always remember these are your units. Okay, so each and every physical quantity having two things. Okay, so what are the two things? So physical quantities have what students? Two things. Okay, two things. First one is your, what is the first one? First one is your size, or that is also you can write magnitude. Okay, size and magnitude. Second one is your SI unit, okay, SI unit. SI is international standard unit or system of international standard unit, you can also say. So these two things. Okay, so let us consider one example, and from this example you will get the exact point. So see, I'm writing here, suppose mango. Okay, I'm going to measure mango. So in which unit I will measure? Suppose the weight of or mass of mango is 2 kg. Okay, mass of mango is 2 kg. So here you can see, student, 2 is one thing and another thing is your kg. Okay, so these two which I have written here, that is your size or magnitude. Okay, that is your magnitude. Okay, magnitude, and this kg is your SI unit. Okay, SI unit. If I will take some more example, then you will get more clarification. So see, here I am writing 5 meter. Okay, 5 meter. Suppose distance is your 5 meter. Okay, so here 5 is, what is 5? 5 is your size. Okay, 5 is your size, and meter, this one is your SI unit. Okay, some other units are also there, CGS unit, MKS, FPS unit, that one will come to know later. So just now we are going to discuss about this. So students, I hope you are clear about physical quantity. What is physical quantity? Some example of physical quantity. Okay, now we are going to physical quantity over. Now we are going to measurement. What is measurement? Okay, so measurement, students, this means it is a type of comparison. Okay, comparison with unknown quantities. When you are comparing something, that means which is unknown with a known quantity, that is known as your measurement. Okay, so what is measurement? Okay, measurement. Okay, measurement. So what is this? Comparison of known physical quantity, or you can yes, you can write known physical quantity, physical compare with unknown physical quantity. Okay, here QTY. Okay, physical quantity. Okay, known physical quantity with unknown physical quantity. Okay, you can write vice versa also. This one also you can write, and this one also you can write. Comparison of unknown physical quantity, unknown physical quantity, sorry, with known physical quantity, known physical quantity. Okay, quantity. Either you can write physical quantity first, and at second position you can write known physical quantity and unknown physical quantity, like this also you can write, or you can vice versa. First you can write unknown physical quantity, after that physical quantity. Okay, unknown and known. But students, you always remember comparison of unknown physical quantities, okay, with your known physical quantities. Suppose we have some, okay, any material. Suppose this one is mud. Okay, so what is the mass of this mud? Okay, we want to find out. Okay, so we have to use beam balance, okay, or physical balance to find out. Suppose this is your mud, so we don't know the mass of this mud, so that is your unknown physical quantity. Okay, unknown physical quantity. Okay, physical quantity. Okay, and we have to, when we are going to measure this one, we can use any known physical quantity, which is your weight. Suppose this is weight. Okay, and this is suppose 5 kg or something, 2 kg, like that. Okay, so this one is your known, this one unknown, this one is your known physical quantity. Okay, this one known physical quantity. Okay, quantity. Okay, so when we are comparing this unknown physical quantities, this is mud. Okay, and we are going to find out what mass of this mud. Okay, what is the mass of this mud? So comparison of this unknown physical quantity which we don't know what is the mass of this one, okay, with a known physical quantity, so that is known as your what measurement. Okay, so always remember comparison of unknown physical quantity with a known physical quantity, or comparison of known physical quantity with unknown physical quantity, that is known as your measurement. Understood, student? Okay, very good. Now next we are going to discuss about, next thing is our area. Okay, so area, you know students, area. So how can you find out students area? Already in mathematics you have learned about area. Okay, so what is the formula to find out area? Length into breadth. Okay, so if I'll go to write a definition of area, so the amount of space occupied by a plane figure on a surface is called its area. Okay, suppose this one is a plane surface. Okay, this one is a plane surface, so amount of space occupied, the amount of space occupied by this surface is known as your area. Understood now? So the amount of space, okay, amount of space occupied by a plane figure, by a plane figure on a surface is called area. Understood, students? Area. And what is the formula to find out area? Area, to find out area, that is the formula is your length into breadth, students. Okay, length into breadth. Understood? So this is the formula to find out the area. Okay, so this is here in this diagram, if I'll ask you which one is your length and which one is your breadth, so here you can write as a, so this is your length and this is your length and this is your breadth. Okay, so suppose length of this one is your 5 meter and breadth is your suppose 2 meter. Okay, so if I'll ask you students find out the area, so easily you can calculate 5 meter into 2 meter. Okay, so 5 2s are here, how much students? 10, and your meter into meter, this one will become meter square. Okay, so meter square, okay, this one is your SI unit of area. Okay, always keep in your mind meter square, or square meter also you can say, is SI unit of what? Area. Understood? So always you keep in your mind. And students, area is two-dimensional quantity. Okay, area is two-dimensional quantities, dimensional quantities. Okay, area is your two-dimensional quantity. Understood? So this is everything about your area. Okay, now next we are going to discuss about volume. Okay, next one is your volume. Okay, understood, student? So here in this one more dimension you have to add. Okay, or we can say students one more dimension to our measurement. Okay, when we want to tile the, suppose when we want to tile our floor or paint the wall. Okay, so that time we measure only two dimension. Suppose we want to buy next condition, suppose we want to buy an air conditioner for a room. Okay, so the type of AC you need to buy depends on how big the room, that is it's your volume. Okay, so to describe a room you have to mention its length, breadth and height, that is its three dimension, length, breadth and height. What are the three dimensions? Length, breadth and height. In area you are getting only length and breadth, but here you will get one extra dimension, that is your height. Together they give you the total space enclosed by room. Okay, so that is your volume. Okay, so the space occupied by an object, okay, or substance in three dimension is called what? Volume. So I am writing here the space occupied by an object or substance, okay, object or substance in 3 dimension, in 3 dimension, okay, that is known as your what, students? That is known as your volume, is known as volume. Understood? So this is about volume, okay. And the SI unit of volume, okay. So first we'll discuss, okay, so what are these 3 dimensional, student? 3 dimension are your length, then next one is your what, students? Length, then breadth, and your height, okay. So these are your three, first, second, third, okay. So these are your 3 dimension, okay. So suppose one object is with us, suppose this one is a object, okay, understand, and we are going to find out its volume, okay. This one is a box, okay, object box, okay. We are going to suppose this one is your length and this one is your breadth. Suppose length is 4 meter, breadth is 5 meter, and height is suppose that is also 4 meters, something like this, okay. So this is your, you can see, length, breadth, and this is your height, okay. And here if we will find out the volume, okay, so volume will be your length into breadth into height in this condition, in this box, okay. So what will be the result? The length will be your 4 meter, breadth will be your 5 meter, okay. Then suppose this one we are changing, okay, this one suppose 5 and this one is your 4, okay. Breadth is your 4, okay. So breadth 4, length is your 5, okay. Again I'm writing length 5 meter, breadth 4 meter, and height is also 4 meter, okay. So now what will be the result here? Here result will be 5 into 4 into this one, 5 4 is 20, 20 into 4, that one will be 80, okay, 80. Then this meter, so this one will become what? Meter cube. So this is the unit of what? This volume, okay. So if I'll ask you what is the SI unit, SI unit of volume, SI unit of volume, then you can easily say SI unit of volume is your cubic meter, okay, cubic meter, okay. And CGS unit is your cubic centimeter, okay. Always remember CGS, okay, CGS unit, okay, CGS unit, that is your cubic centimeter, okay, students. I hope you are clear. CGS means centimeter, gram, and second, okay. So this is another type of unit. This is SI, international system unit, which is acceptable by all the country, okay. So solid and liquid occupy a fixed amount of space at a fixed temperature. However, gas expand to occupy all the space available to them. Understood, students? So volume, okay. So this is everything about volume. Now students, we are going to volume, find out the volume of regular solid, okay. Volume of regular solid, okay. Volume of regular solid. What do you understand by this meaning, regular solid? That means that object or that substance having fixed length, fixed breadth, okay, those type of substance is known as your regular solid, okay. So already you know about your cube, okay. So what is cube? Okay, cube, you know, cube is a 3-dimensional shape bounded by 6 square faces, okay. Bounded by 6 square faces, always remember, okay. How many faces? Bounded by 6 square faces and 3-dimensional, okay. 6 square faces, okay. Square faces, okay. Understood? So next page we are going. If I'll draw a diagram of a cube, so because this one is a square face, that's why, because this one is a square face, so its length, breadth, height, everything will be same, students? Yes or no? Yes, very good. So suppose this one is a cube, okay, having same length, breadth and height. Okay, suppose the length is all 1 centimeter, breadth is 1 centimeter and height is also 1 centimeter. Okay, so length, breadth and height all are 1 centimeter. Okay, so how can we find out the volume of this one? So to find out your volume of a cube, students, formula is volume of cube. Okay, formula is your length into length into length. Okay, L stands for length. Okay, so this is the formula to find out your volume of a cube. Okay, so length into length into length, or you can write L cube. So here if we will find out what is the volume of this one, so length is 1 centimeter or 1 meter, whatever. Okay, 1 centimeter into 1 centimeter, okay, into 1 centimeter into 1 centimeter, so output will be 1 centimeter cube. Okay, so the centimeter cube is the unit of volume. Okay, so understood. Now next we are going to discuss about cuboid. Okay, next one is your cuboid. First we discuss about cube, now next one is your cuboid. Okay, so in this already we discussed in cube, students, all faces are square, but in this regular object, students, in this cuboid 6 rectangular faces are there. Okay, such a one shown in your figure. I am drawing that figure. So here it is also your 3-dimensional shape. Okay, this one is also 3-dimensional shape, 3-dimensional shape. Okay, and how many rectangular faces are there? 6. Okay, 6 rectangular faces. Understood? How many rectangular faces? 6 rectangular faces are there. Okay, so here that is known as your cuboid. Okay, so here how can we find out the volume? So here volume, suppose I am drawing a diagram so that you will be clear. Seems something like this. Okay, this one is a cuboid. I am going to draw a cuboid. Cuboid. Okay, suppose here length is your length. Here I am writing length. This length is suppose 5 meter. Okay, and this breadth is suppose 4 meter and height is your 3 meter. Okay, so in this condition volume equal to your length into breadth into height. Okay, L stands for length, B stands for breadth and height, H stands for your height. Okay, so what will be the output or result of this cuboid? So volume will be 5 is your length, 5 meter, into breadth is your 4 meter, into height is your 3 meter. Understood? So here 4 5 is a 20, 23 is a 60. Okay, so 60 meter cube. Okay, so meter cube is the unit of this volume. Okay, so here we got the result. Okay, suppose any surface if I will give, and I will tell you find out the volume. Suppose one surface I am giving, find the volume of cuboid. Okay, one question I am writing. Okay, find the volume of a cuboid. Okay, where okay L equal to 5 centimeter, B equal to 3 centimeter and height equal to H equal to 6 centimeter. Okay, so you find out the volume. So how can you find out, students? So you know volume equal to length, volume of cuboid, length into breadth into height. So easily you can write 5 centimeter into 3 centimeter into 6 centimeter. So you will get the result how much? 90 centimeter cube. Okay, so this is volume of that cuboid. Similarly you can find out volume of cuboid also. Okay, student, now again I am writing one more question. Okay, suppose find the volume of a cubical box. Okay, find volume of cubical box. Okay, find the volume of cubical box. Okay, volume of cubical box where one side is your side equal to or side or length equal to your 5 centimeter. Okay, so how can you find out? You know, students, volume of cubed is length into breadth into height. Okay, cubed, that is your, how much? That is your L cube, or you can write L into L into L. So here 5 into 5 into 5, that is your equal to 125 centimeter cube. Okay, now here centimeter cube. If I'll ask you students, you convert this centimeter cube into your, because this one is your CGS unit, centimeter cube, this one is your CGS unit. Okay, if I'll ask you students to convert in your SI unit, that means meter cube in this. So how can you convert this one? Okay, so now we are going to exact process. Okay, how can you convert? Okay, next one. So we are going to convert 125 centimeter cube into your how much meter cube. Okay, how much meter cube we are going to convert. Okay, so let's see. So you students, you know 1 meter equal to your how much? 100 centimeter. Okay, similarly I can write 100 centimeter equal to 1 meter. Okay, just I change this position. So 1 centimeter equal to, I can write 1 by 100 meter. Okay, so 1 centimeter equal to 1 by 100 meter. Okay, so 1 centimeter cube, that is equal to, students, you can write 1 centimeter into 1 centimeter into 1 centimeter. Okay, so now if I'll write the value of 1 centimeter, what we got here, value of 1 centimeter, that is 1 by 100. So that one will be 1 by 100 meter into 1 by 100 meter into 1 by 100 meter. Understood? So now that is equal to 1 by, okay, 100 into 100 into 100. Okay, that means 60 upon 1. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, 60. This much 1 meter cube. So this one meter cube. Okay, so 1 centimeter cube equal to this much meter cube. So 125 centimeter cube equal to 125 centimeter, or you don't write centimeter, 125 into 1 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, 60. Okay, so that one will be your this much meter cube. Okay, this much meter cube, that one will be, this one multiply, this one will be 0.000125. okay, just you write the numeric value. Okay, numeric value, actually this one will become 125 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, this much. Okay, and when you will convert into your decimal, this one is your fractional form, when you will convert, it will become this much. Okay, what? Meter cube. So this is the process, exact process. Okay, some alternative process are also in your book, that one also you can follow, but this is the actual. Okay, what's happening in the alternative method or shortcut method that I have discussed here. Okay, now we are going to find out, students, volume of a irregular solid. Okay, volume of irregular solid. Okay, irregular solid. Okay, how can we find out the volume of irregular solid? Okay, irregular solid, what do you understand by they don't have fixed shape? Okay, they don't have fixed size. Okay, so that means no length, no breadth, no height, like that. Okay, lighter substance. Okay, so for the object of irregular shape such as stones, okay, so a simple measurement or formula cannot be used. Okay, and just by applying formula length into breadth, because they don't have. Okay, so the volume of irregular shaped object can be measured using a measuring cylinder. Okay, by using your, what we have to use? Measuring cylinder. Measuring cylinder. Measuring cylinder. Okay, this can be found out by using measuring cylinder. Okay, so students, how can you find out? Let's see. Okay, so the properties used in this method we are going to now discuss. If a solid completely immersed, okay, in a liquid, it displaces a volume of liquid equal to its volume. Okay, suppose I am giving you one example. Okay? This is suppose one stone. Okay, we have one stone and we want to find out the volume of this one. Okay, so we have one container. Okay, we have one container, waterful container. Okay, this container is filled with water. Okay, water is filled, okay, full of water. So now when we will immerse this stone inside this water, okay, some water will be displaced. Okay, and when we'll immerse this stone fully in this, okay, so the amount of water which has displaced, okay, is equal to volume of that stone. Okay, so the amount of water whatever has displaced, and we'll find out the volume of that water, and whatever the volume of water, that is the volume of your stone. Okay, so this is the one process. Okay, so for this measuring cylinder we are using. Okay, so how can you use in measuring cylinder? Measuring cylinder is something like this. Okay, measuring cylinder. Okay, suppose this one is a measuring cylinder. Here you will find some marks will be there. Okay, this much, that much. Okay, so when suppose water is full till this point, and when you will immerse a stone inside this, so water level will rise. This is your level 1, L1, and this one is your level 2. So difference between level 1 and level 2, okay, this difference is your volume of this stone. So by this process we can find out the volume of a solid. Okay, so this is one process. Understood? Now we are going to find out the volume of liquid. Okay, now we are going to, so this one is the volume of irregular solid. Okay, by this process you can find out the volume of irregular solid. Understood? So here from this measuring cylinder you got the idea how can you measure. Okay, so by water displacement method is also you can find out the volume of any so irregular solid. Okay, which just now I discussed here. Now volume of liquid, how can you find out the volume of liquid? Okay, volume of liquid. Okay, volume of liquids, how can you find out the volume of liquids? Okay, so for the students, liquids have, already we know liquids have a definite volume but no shape of their own. Okay, so liquid takes shape the container of the container into which they are poured. So the volume of liquid such as water, milk and oil are usually measured in liters. Okay, so that one volume of liquids, that one can be measured with the help of which units? Liters. And that one short form you can write L, or this L also you can write. Understood? This is okay. So this is the unit of what, students? Liquid. Okay, so now you know students, 1 liter equal to your how much milliliter? That is your 1000 ml. Okay, 1 liter equal to this much. Okay, so here ml stands for your milliliter. Okay, understood? So that is 1000 of a liter. Okay, so now 1 ml, you always keep in mind 1 ml, that is equal to 1 centimeter cube, because you know this is the unit of volume, or you can write cubic centimeter. This one cubic centimeter. Okay, cubic centimeter. Okay, and 1 liter equal to your 1000 centimeter cube, or you can write 1000 cc. Okay, so 1000 centimeter cube equal to your how much? Decimeter cube. So we know students, 1000 centimeter cube, that is your 10 centimeter cube. We can write 10 centimeter into 10 centimeter into 10 centimeter. Okay, so that is your students 10 centimeter equal to 1 decimeter. This one is also 1 decimeter, and this is also 1 decimeter. So that is your how much, students? 1000 centimeter cube equal to 1 decimeter cube. Sorry, yes, decimeter cube. Okay, so we can write here, because we know 1000 centimeter cube equal to your 1 liter. Okay, so 1 liter equal to your 1 decimeter cube. Okay, so this one you always keep in your mind. 1 liter, okay, equal to 1 decimeter cube. Okay, now we are going to do or solve a problem. Suppose one question is find the volume in liters, okay, the cubic containers on it. Okay, so we have to find out the volume in liters. Okay, suppose one box is there. Okay, understood? One box is there. Suppose length is 25 centimeter, then breadth is suppose 10 centimeter, and height is 20 centimeter. Okay, so here we have to find out the volume in liter. Okay, so normally if we'll go to find out the volume, because this one is a cuboid, so volume of cuboid, how will find out, students? Volume of cuboid, that is your length into breadth into height. Okay, length into breadth into height. Okay, so that is your 25 centimeter into 10 centimeter into 20 centimeter. So that one will be 5000 centimeter cube. So already we know, students, 1000 cc equal to 1 liter. So that's why 5000 cc equal to 5 liter. Okay, so this one we got the answer. Okay, next we are going to find out the volume of liquid in laboratory. Okay, so students, for accurate measurement of the volume of liquid in the laboratory, measuring flasks or measuring cylinders are used. Okay, so what are we are using? So that those are your measuring flask, measuring cylinder, okay, measuring beaker also. Okay, so in laboratory, measuring the volume of liquids in laboratory. Okay, so for that what we are using? So first one we are using measuring flask. Okay, measuring flask. So measuring flask is something like this. Okay, I'm going to draw the diagram of measuring flask. So this is a diagram of your measuring flask. Okay, so through this we are measuring the volume of liquids in laboratory. Okay, so this is the first one. Okay, so measuring flask is a glass jar, okay, with a long narrow neck. You can see here long narrow neck. It is used to measure out a definite quantity of liquid. Okay, and the capacity is marked on the flask in ml. Okay, here you will find out on the flask in ml. Okay, understood? And a ring mark on the neck indicate the level of to which the liquid should be filled. Okay, so this one is a ring mark. Okay, so what is the purpose of this ring mark? So ring mark on the neck indicates the level to which the liquid should be filled. Okay, and the flasks of different capacity are used for different liquids to find out a different volume. Okay, so this one is a measuring flask. Next one I am going to show you measuring cylinder. Okay, next one is your measuring cylinder. Measuring cylinder, second one. Okay, so measuring cylinder something like this, narrow neck, then this one is your measuring cylinder. Okay, here you will find measuring line or measurement lines are there. Okay, something like this. Okay, so this measuring cylinder, okay, is a tall cylinder jar made up of glass or plastic. Okay, this is made up of glass or plastic. It has a volume mark on the outside in ml, here only, and in ml. Okay, so there is a spot at the top of pouring out the liquid easily here. Okay, so easily, and different volume of liquid can be measured using measuring cylinder, and measuring cylinder of different capacity are available in market. So according to necessity we are using this one. Understood? So this is about your measuring the volume of liquids in the laboratory. Okay, measuring beaker also we are using. In that beaker also we can use, okay, for shorter measurement in cylinder. So now one more point is your students, okay, measuring liquids level accurately. How can you measure, okay, accurately, okay, measuring liquid level accurately. How can you measure? Okay, so this one is students, how can we do? So to avoid some parallax error, okay, the eye should be at the level of the liquid. You will see that the liquid surface at the top is not flat but curved. This is called your meniscus. Okay, meniscus, meniscus, okay, meniscus. You, if you uh, if you will fill with mercury, then some its mercury level will be something like this, and if you will fill with water, then water level will be something like this. That means you will not get the exact straight level. Okay, so this one is a surface of top is not flat, but this one is a curve. For liquids other than mercury, the surface is curved inwards. For such liquids, the reading at the lowest point of the meniscus should be taken. Okay, so for the opaque liquids, the reading at the topmost point of the meniscus is taken, and for mercury the surface is curved outward. In this case, the reading topmost point of the meniscus should be taken. Okay, so this point, okay, so this point is your level. In this, here, this point, topmost point, don't consider this one, lower one, this topmost point. Okay, this one in mercury, this one is your in water. Okay, so this topmost point we have to consider to find out the exact level of your or exact volume of what liquids. Okay, now next we are going to, students, discuss about your density. Okay, so how can you find out the density? What is density? We'll discuss here right now. Okay, so this density, if the students number of molecules will be tightly packed in any substance, then density will be more. If I ask you students, which density is more, if I give you two examples, suppose wooden piece and water, which density is more? So easily you can say, sir, the density of wooden piece is more, because the substance are very tightly packed. Okay, so the mass of a given volume of a substance depend on the property of that substance known as its density. Then, so if I'll give you one example or day-to-day life example, then you will be clear. So we often use phrases such as dense traffic and dense fog. Okay, if the traffic is dense, it means there are many vehicles on the road, okay, and close together. In a dense fog, there are a large number of water droplets close together. Thus the density is measure of how close things are packed or how much tightly packed. Okay, similarly some substances have more particles of matter, okay, or molecules packed in a given volume than other. The density of substance, so the density, you keep in mind students, the density of a substance is defined as the mass of the substance per unit volume. Okay, mass. So if I will write the definition of density, so you have to write the density of a substance is defined as the mass of the substance per unit volume. This is the definition of density. Okay, and numerically or formula, if you write in formula, then we have to, and you, one more thing students, the symbol of density is your rho. Okay, the symbol of density, that is your rho. Okay, this is your something like this. Okay, in that is your RHO, rho. Okay, and the formula to find out the density, so density equal to your mass by volume. Okay, mass by volume. Understood, student? So this is the formula to find out the density. Understood? So density D equal to your mass by volume. Okay, so now students, we are going to find out what will be the SI unit of density. Okay, so mass, what is the SI unit of mass? That is your, kg. And what is the SI unit of volume? That is your meter cube. Okay, so SI unit equal to your kg per meter cube. Okay, and CGS unit, that is your centimeter, sorry, CGS unit, that is your gram per centimeter cube. Okay, so this is your CGS unit. And always you remember, students, one formula, that is your 1 gram centimeter cube equal to 1000 kg per meter cube. Okay, so now we'll do one numericals. Writing a question. The mass of an object is, okay, question number, okay, the mass of an object is 500 gram. Okay, and it occupies a volume, suppose 2000 centimeter cube. So find its density in gram centimeter cube and also kg meter cube. This type of question will be asked. Okay, so here students, our mass is your how much? 5000 gram, and volume is our 2000 centimeter cube. So density equal to, students, mass by volume. So easily you can write here what? 5000 divided by 2000. So here our answer will be 2.5 gram. This 330 will be cut, gram centimeter cube. So how can you convert this one into your kg per meter cube? So we know, students, 1 gram centimeter, here we got the relation 1 gram centimeter equal to 1000 gram centimeter cube equal to your 1000 kg per meter cube. Okay, kg per meter cube. So that's why 2.5 gram centimeter cube equal to your how much, students? This one will be 2500 kg per meter cube. Okay, understood? So this is one small numericals related to your density. Okay, so similarly you can, if density has given or volume has given, then you can similarly find out the mass. Okay, if volume is missing, then from density and mass you can find out the volume. Okay, so this is everything about the density. Okay, so now next we are going to find out density of irregular object. Okay, how can you find out the density of an irregular object? Okay, density of an irregular object. Okay, how can you find out density of irregular object? Okay, so to find out the density of irregular object, its mass is found by using a physical balance. Okay, so we can find out the mass by using physical balance, and its volume is found by means of displacement method, water displacement method, which we have previously discussed. Okay, this one in this diagram. Okay, water displacement method. Okay, water displacement method. Okay, we can find out what irregular solid. This is one irregular solid, and we can find out the volume. Okay, so the mass we can find out by physical balance, and volume we can find out by your displacement method, and the density is then determined by dividing the mass upon volume. Okay, so density, suppose I'm giving one example. Okay, so copper, suppose copper piece. Okay, one copper piece is there, copper piece is there, and its mass, okay, mass equal to 179.2 gram. Okay, and immersed in water in a measuring cylinder, and we found that the level of water rises from 40 ml to 60 ml. Okay, so immerse in water, immerse in water, understood? Immerse in water, and water level rises, and water level rises from 40 ml to 60 ml. Okay, so find what? Find density of copper. Okay, understood? Density of copper. So here students, we already know mass is how much, students? Mass equal to 179.2 gram. Okay, and volume, how can we find out the volume? The volume of water displaced, that one will say. Okay, so volume of the irregular object, irregular copper, okay, equal to volume of water displaced. Okay, volume of water displaced. Okay, volume of water displaced. So how much volume has displaced? So if we'll subtract, then we'll find out 6 ml minus 40 ml, 40 ml. So that is equal to your 20 ml. Okay, that is equal to 20 centimeter cube, understood? So from this we can find out the density or rho. So that is equal to mass by volume. So 179.2 by 20. Okay, this much this much gram, and this much centimeter cube. Okay, so if we will divide this one, we will get 8.96 gram per centimeter cube. Okay, and if you will write in kg, then just you write, or you replace this point after 3 digit, so 8 9 6 1 2 2 digit, then one more digit 0. Okay, this much kg per meter cube. Okay, so this one, understood? Similarly, we can find out the density of liquid also. Okay, understood? So I hope you are clear about this one. Now we are going to find out the speed. How can you find out speed? Next we are going to speed. Okay, suppose you want to go to a shop, okay, and 5 meter away from you, and if you walk, it may take about 6 minutes to reach the shop. Okay, so if you use a bicycle, you may reach the shop in less than half that time. Okay, so such it takes less time to cover distance if you go faster, understood na? So we can also say that you cover more distance per unit time if you travel faster. Okay, so the speed is a physical quantity. Okay, so if we'll go to define speed, so speed is a physical quantity that describe how fast someone or something is moving. Okay, this one is a physical quantity. Okay, physical quantity, and from this what we will measure? How fast someone or something is moving. How fast someone or something is moving, that one we can find out with this one. Okay, so speed equal to your formula is your distance traveled by total time taken. Okay, time taken. Okay, this one we can represent with d, this one we can represent with t. Okay, understood? So okay, so from this here we got speed equal to distance by time. Okay, if I will ask you, well, how can you find out d? So d equal to distance equal to your speed into time. Okay, similarly time, how you will find out time? Time equal to distance by speed. Okay, so these are the three formula you have to keep in your mind, and with this formula now we will do some numericals. Okay, so that you will be more clear, understood? And one more thing, SI unit of speed. What will be the SI unit? So students, you know speed equal to distance by time. So what is the SI unit of distance? That is your meter, and time, that is your second. Okay, second, I'm writing full. Okay, second. Okay, meter. So your unit will be meter per second. Okay, meter per second is your unit of your speed. Okay, one question I am giving you. From this you find out the speed. Okay, suppose one question is a train traveling, this is a question, a train traveling from Chennai to Delhi. Okay, Chennai to Delhi. Okay, Chennai to Delhi, and cover 2200 kilometer in 40 hours. Okay, so find speed. What? Find speed of train. Okay, so here we are doing. So here students, you got distance equal to how much? 2200 kilometer. Okay, and time is equal to your 40 hours. Okay, 40 hours. Understood? So how will you find out the speed? Speed equal to, you know, distance by time. So distance is your how much? 2200 kilometer divided by your time is your 40. Understood? So 40 hours, this 1 kilometer. So your answer will be 55 kilometer per hour. This one is your speed. Okay, this one is your speed of your train. Understood? Similarly, suppose I'm giving one more question. Second, a car covers 55 kilometer in 1 hour. Find speed in meter per second. Find speed in meter per second. Okay, meter per second. So how can we find out? So first we have to find out in kilometer per hour. So speed equal to distance by time. So 55 divided by 1. So that is equal to 5. Sorry, this one is 54. Okay, 54 I am writing here. So this one is your 54 kilometer per hour. Understood, students? So now you have to convert into your meter per second. To convert into your meter per second, what to do, students? Just you have to multiply. You have to multiply 54 by. So to convert this one, what we have to do? This one we have to convert into, this one is your kilometer, students, and this one is your hour. So this one, this much meter, and this one hour equal to your how much? That is your 1 hour equal to 3600 second. Okay, so that is equal to your, this 2 will be cancelled. So 540 by 36, that is equal to your 15 meter per second. So this one will be your answer. Okay, so this one you can use, or you can use also 5 by 18 and 18 by 5. That also formula you can use. So by this process you can solve some more numericals in your book. Some more numericals are there. So I hope you will go through all the numericals, and your homework is your exercise. Okay, so first chapter. Okay, your homework, first chapter. Okay, first chapter, all question and answer. Okay, all question and answer is your homework. So I hope you will go through and you will write in your copy, and whatever will be your doubt, you can WhatsApp me. My number I have already displayed on the screen. Okay, so students, you try to find out the answer of all question answer, fill in the blanks, short answer, and choose the correct option. Everything you try to find out. I'm not going to give you answers also, okay? So I have taught, so you find out from your book. And in case you are not getting any answer, that is very difficult to, then only you message on my number, okay? So here our first chapter already over. Thank you so much students for watching. So bye bye, have a nice day. Thank you.